are you? Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. I never know how to figure these things out. So let me see.
All good.
How
Can you
are
hear me
you?
okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you so much for doing this. It's so nice.
Of course.
Oh my God. So I sent you a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you got
You
every
did. Those brownies and those cookie balls were so good. They did not last in my house. Was like almost hiding the brownies from my husband. I was like, if you eat these, I will be so mad at you if you eat the last bite.
like normally, and I was gonna do because I'm gonna talk with Gloria and Mike like in a month, and I was just like,
Woo.
should I send them like Cuban black bean soup? And I'm like, is that too on the nose? I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. It's like I in my head, I'm like, did I do that to Melissa? Did I send her my Cuban black bean? And then it's like so
No, you
on
did
the
it.
next time it's my aunt's recipe, and I always laugh, and I feel like you'll appreciate this as somebody who's Cuban. And just for anyone who's watching, this is Melissa Fumero. I mean, I have like 5 viewers, so just so they know, like my mom and my dad. I think you would appreciate this as you are Cuban. Is like my aunt's recipe when she gave it to me was like a whisper of salt and like a handful of oregano, and I'm like, Tia, I can't use this, and she was like, no, that's how I cook. I'm like, okay, so
My
I like
mom is the exact same way. Every recipe I've tried to be, she'd be like, "Hey, Melissa, I don't know. Maybe a teaspoon.
right,
Look at it, taste it. If it tastes wrong, then put more."
right. She's like so mad too. Like you ask, like
So mad.
I wanted to
or,
start.
or my favorite is she goes, this
Right.
much, like that, this
Yeah,
much.
exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
like, all
I
right.
don't know. I just asked my mom because I wanted her Cuban coffee recipe because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell coffee in the shop, right? And my mom was like, it was stressing her out, and like to make sure that I had the proper like percolator, you know,
Right.
and I have
How big is the thing that
right,
determines? Yeah.
like how much sugar, like you're gonna use coconut sugar. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna use regular sugar. She's like, like like
One time my Dio was visiting and she was with a friend and then her daughter and like her daughter's friends. So they had like a little gaggle of teenage girls, and they like went to Universal or whatever and they came to my house after. And and of course, like any good Cuban, as soon as she walked in the house, she was like, "Do you have coffee? Cafe?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll make some cafecitos." And we don't have sugar like in the house because we don't use it in our coffee. We make American coffee most days, and then like sometimes we'll have espresso in the afternoon. And even when I make espresso, I use like agave or coconut sugar, like what usually agave. So I was like, is agave okay?
I
The look, she tried so hard she was like, oh yeah, of course. I was like, she's so gonna talk shit about me as soon as she leaves this house. God damn it.
you're screwed. Well, that's like my mom has come a few times, and I have like four different pots now. Because like for a while I didn't drink coffee, which is like unheard of. But I have
That
four, and I
good.
have a brick of Bustelo just in case. So I was like, Mom, you haven't been here in like a year, so
Yeah.
like I have to like keep it in my fridge. And same, I don't have sugar. So she came. I love like this is why I love like my mom. Like she has like a little tub of sugar that I leave in my cabinet, and she wrote on it sugar. Like just so I know, like don't touch
Yeah,
this.
we have like one bag of sugar at the very bottom back of a cabinet, and it's for when our parents come.
Oh my God, I love it. I feel like I'm catching you at such a like happy, bittersweet time because you guys just wrapped, right?
We just wrapped a week ago
Oh
to
my
the
God.
day, last Thursday. Yeah, it's weird. I think there's like a part of my brain that's like, oh, I'll be back there in 4 months. Like, this is not real. Um, it hit me much harder than I thought it would. Like I knew it was going to be sad, and I knew it was also going to be beautiful and joyful, and I was really happy that we were kind of able to celebrate in a small way. On the day of wrapping, because with COVID and all the restrictions and the protocols, like I wasn't sure if that was going to happen, but we did, which was really nice. And and then it took like a couple days. I was like, I'm okay, it's sad, but it's all right. There's like, on the third and fourth and fifth day, I was like, oh my God. I can't believe this happened.
And
Like
I get it. It was like on one hand, you guys were
floodgates
so
opened.
but like how lucky are you? Like nobody nowadays nobody gets like 8 seasons to do it and to
No,
have
I might never see that again. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
right.
I just
You
don't
peaked
think
and now this interview is like your downfall. Like, oh,
yeah.
yeah, right. Like it's
Like
starting to
when people, yeah, if anyone like writes a memoir about me, that's not how
no,
memoirs work. Biography about me.
you guys also had the like one of the best cast, and also like as I know because I was on One Day at a Time, you got the runaround from Fox and then to NBC. So you've been through the ringer, and
Yes.
like I don't know, I just like I'm so envious of like that kind of camaraderie and that kind of show. It's a fucking funny show. It's
Thank
so good.
you. Thank you.
But
And it's like, that's all you hope when you start out is like, I just hope it's funny. I hope it's good. And that all the rest of it is like a big, big question mark, whether people are going to like it, whether you're going to all get along, whether your crew is going to be cool. And in our case, it was like from day one, all those things, the crew, the cast, all those things were like, magically kind of just meant for each other. It felt so serendipitous how well we all got along.
yeah.
And then just everyone from day one really believing in the show, really loving the scripts, excited about what we were doing. And that never changed. Like that never, I guess maybe in later seasons we had days where you're a little on autopilot and you're like just doing it. But for the most part, it was 90% of the time it was people trying to make it better, trying to do the best job possible because they love and believe in the show. And like that is so rare because it's so many things that have to work and come together. And so it was just like an extraordinary thing to experience and to live through. And I'll forever be grateful for it. And I think it's just one of those things that, even 20 years from now, I'll be like, I can't believe that happened. Like, I can't believe how good that was. That was crazy. I just think that will always be the feeling around it.
No, I love it. I love the show. I mean, it's so funny. I loved you guys. You guys were like you were like the Sam and Diane from like Cheers, like when you
Oh,
started,
thank
right?
you.
Like you guys like
I
bit
would say that was like our number one inspo. I'm going to eat some soup.
oh my God, please. What are you eating? Tell me what you're eating.
I'm eating the lemon chicken.
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a good one. I like that one.
Mm. Oh
I
my
worked
God.
at a I
So good.
worked at a Greek restaurant and I wanted to kind of create like a
Oh, my best friend growing up was Greek.
oh really? Like they make that lemon like that lemon
Mhm.
soup, but I mean it's so good, but I can't eat anything that's in it. So I tried to like recreate it. And so
Why
that's
can't
what I can't eat like half of the things that are in like it's like egg, it's I
Oh,
mean
gotcha.
stuff. But yeah, so this is my version of
Oh my
it.
God, it's so
I worked
good.
at I worked at a Greek restaurant in college. So if they knew that this was my version, they'd be like disappointed, but it's still yummy, you know?
I
So
think it's super yummy.
thanks.
Delicious.
I think what I start like the reason I started interviewing people is because we all work on set so much and then we don't have like healthy options. And so this was like my go-to because I worked upstairs in the booth was to like go and grab soup that I made and like heat it up. And I'm like, I wish that we were able to have this option on set. And it was, you know how sometimes on set they bring soup and it's like in like the sheet pans. So you're like scooping. It's like weird.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't feel
Yeah.
right.
I have to shout out our craft service guy,
Right.
Kyle, amazing. And we started calling them 11Zs because they would come out around 11 o'clock. And it was always like, they call it a snack, but it really was like a meal. But when he got soups, they wouldn't be in like the tin bins. They would actually be in like proper soup containers.
Yeah.
And he would, ladle them out for us. And they were always so good.
Oh my God.
And he would get Cuban food sometimes, like
From
I guess
where?
the vendor that he found that was really great that would do different he'd do Korean barbecue sometimes and it was always really bomb. It was so good that most of the time I would like have that as my lunch
Oh my
and
God.
whatever we were ordering for lunch, which was never really that good. Or this year we was catering, so I was like bringing my own lunch. Uh, I just would skip because I was like, no, Elevensies was so good today. But yeah, the whole like craft service thing at work is weird. And almost, I wonder, I think it's gonna change forever because of
Yeah.
COVID.
I know those were like my favorite times was like see everybody because I always feel like I was like locked in a dungeon for like the entire day. I worked
Yeah.
for like when I worked for a director, I worked for a director for like 8 years and I got to like hang out with everybody and it was awesome. And so the only time that I felt like kind of included, because like you kind of get lost in the mix, was like one day at a time. Cause like after you guys did your run through, I got to like go in and, do notes with everybody. And like I'd be sitting next to Norman Lear and be like, am I sitting next to Norman Lear right now? This is weird. And so amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. But the episode that you guys were on was like one of my favorites.
It was so fun. And it was such a big episode. Like I could tell it was like extra rehearsals and so many more people than they were used to having. But that kind of made it like fun and exciting because
It was like my everything. Like I love that show in general because Rita and Justina's characters are like a mix of my mom, like together, like like my mom and both of those characters. But then when you guys were there, it's almost like I wanted to be downstairs and be like, what? I want to be, like you want to be part of it. And I'm like upstairs with the sound guys being like, shh, stop talking. Like I just want to hear. But I loved it. And it really was such a fun episode. But like for you, like that must have been awesome to be part of, have you worked with Gloria before?
which Gloria?
No, oh well, either Gloria. Have you ever?
No, it was a first time working with both Glorias, right? Yes. Both time, yeah, first time working with both Glorias. Gloria Stefan, obviously
Yeah.
I grew up listening to her music. And so that was just to be in the same room with Gloria and Rita was like, none of this feels real. Like
Yeah.
all of this is a weird fever dream I'm in, and it's wonderful, and I never want to wake up. Oh my God, were you there when they sang together?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. And then Rita like busted out into oh my God, what did she sang West Side Story too at one point. Like it was just insane. Um and they were both the loveliest. Like I was talking to Gloria Stefan and she's like telling me a story. And then she was like, because I had this really bad accident once. And I was like, yeah,
I know.
I wanted to be like, I know.
I
We
know the
were
song.
devastated for you. I remember when you walked out on the stage after your surgery. Like that was such a moment. But she was so like humble about it, like as if I hadn't heard about it. I was
Right.
just like, what?
We all sing that song. What is it? Coming Out of the Dark? Like right?
Yes, that's right. Coming out of the dark. That's what it was.
No, they're the best. My Spanish is really bad. Like I hate
Same.
it's like terrible, right? So
Terrible.
like I saw Gloria, and the only thing that I could think, like, I don't know what came over me, but I saw her and like she's looking at me and I was like, soy cubana. And like then she gave me like the biggest hug and I'm like, that out of all the things that I could say, like, like whatever. And then Emilio, her husband, is walking up my stairs because he thought it was the dressing room. And I was like, no, you're in the wrong place. I'm like, pero soy cubana. And he gave me a hug too. And I was like, well, this is the best day, period. Like I just had the best day. And Rita, she always was like, was always like, would talk to anybody, so nice and lovely. And I remember her wearing like a Bronx hat, like one day.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, Rita, are you like, I'm like, did you live in the Bronx? This and that, I'm from the Bronx. And like I was born there. And she's like, oh no, there's a street named after me in the Bronx. I'm like, oh right. That makes sense. Like, of course.
Of course there is, as there should be.
Right. I was like, makes sense. But I love it. And also, I mean, I'm speaking to you about all Hispanic things, but Did you see, I mean, it's your friend in the show, in the movie. Did you see In the Heights yet?
I've seen it twice already.
Like, don't you want to like just be in, like, don't you just like want to be like a fly in the wall
Oh
and
my
have
God, yes. I was like, why didn't I like bug them to just be like a dancer in the club scene? Like, and just be like a weird Easter egg for people to find.
yeah, I
Um,
love that.
yeah, I should have. I should have bugged Lynn. It's amazing. I loved the Broadway show so much. I saw it like 3 or 4 times on Broadway, and I remember the first time I saw it just sobbing and being like, oh, it was literally the first thing I had ever seen that felt like my family, that felt like from where I'm from, and
Yeah.
really really spoke to me. I thought they did an incredible job with the movie. I think it's so beautiful. I think I love that everyone in the movie, no matter how big or like, especially of like the smaller roles, everyone has a moment. Everyone has like a standout moment,
Yeah.
which is hard to do. And it's just like, it's such a celebration, and everybody looks like they're having the best time. And so, I love it. I'm so proud of Stephanie. I think she killed it. She's so good in the movie. She's so funny and joyful and amazing. And
So like opposite of her on Brooklyn Nine-Nine too, which is
yeah, I know. Yeah, totally. A little like kind of closer. No, not closer to her personality, because she played Carla kind of. I mean, Stephanie's just an incredible actress,
yeah.
and she's like a chameleon and can totally change. In every role. And yeah, I love it. I hope it continues to do really well. I hope it opens the door for more things to get greenlit and for more stories to get told. It's unfair to put so much pressure on one thing, but it's like we're all out here so starved for representation and more opportunities, that it sucks that it all falls on In the Heights, but it kind of does, like, because we
Loved
need
it.
it to do well so that studios and networks will do more Latin stories. Like, that's just the way it works.
100%.
But yeah, I thought it was incredible. I mean, those numbers, I saw it in the movie. I saw it at home first, and then I saw it in the movie theater. And I was so glad I saw it in the movie theater, because there's certain numbers. The pool scene, 96,000, the opening number, Carnival, is like incredible on the big screen.
I
And
saw it in the theater too. I mean, like I was like double masked and like this, like scared
yeah,
for my life, but I like wanted to be there because like then when you see the exciting parts and everyone's like, like it gives you that like, oh my
yeah,
God. So I mean, like I
really
love
great
love.
one. Yeah.
Um, so are you working on anything now or are you like taking a break?
I am leaving this weekend, going on vacation.
For you.
Well, I guess I my husband and I always joke that like you can't call anything with little kids a vacation, because it's a trip. It's not a vacation.
Right.
So we're going on a trip. And we're going to see family. So that also won't be like so relaxing, but maybe because our kids will be entertained. But yeah, we're we haven't, because of the pandemic. We've seen, my parents came out to visit, so we saw them a few months ago. But my brother's driving down. I haven't seen my brother in 2 years, because
God.
I was pregnant right before the pandemic. So there was like a long period of time where I wasn't flying, and the way holidays fell and everything. And then my husband's whole side of the family, his parents, his siblings, aunts and uncles, haven't met the baby, who's barely a baby anymore. He's like 16 months. So it's a trip to just like see everyone see the baby now that, everyone's vaccinated, and we're in a much better place. So I'm a little nervous to fly, like get through the airport. But we're just gonna like take all the precautions and be
I
careful.
I just went back east. I mean, I did it for the first time and I was like super like nervous. What I did was, and I don't know if you could do this with kids, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna like fly first class. Like I'm like, I just want to be protect myself. I never could I never want to never fly first class again. It was amazing. So I'm gonna probably try to do that more often. But same thing, my niece was born February 2020. So I met
Oh,
her
okay. My baby was born February 2020. Yeah.
there, yeah. So I met her and then I flew back to LA, and then like now she's an adult and she speaks better Spanish than I do. So like I'm home. I just went home and it was fine. Like the airport was fine. I don't know if you're going back east, but back east, everything was like, okay, like this is doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I saw my niece and she's like a full adult, except I'll be like, "Donde está Tia Tracy?" And she's like she doesn't know who I am. That's the only thing that like I'm like, oh God, you
I
know,
know.
but she's so cute and like she just speaks better Spanish than me. So I feel like really upset about it. Um, but it'll be good to see it was so good to see family. So I'm so glad that you're getting to see everybody. It's amazing.
Yeah, and yeah, we need the change of scenery. We need a little bit of a break. We're gonna have some good, beach time, boat time. It'll be good. I'm done breastfeeding, so all the drinks.
That is a vacation in itself. See, there you go.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. And then when I get back, I'll figure out, what's next, I guess.
Oh
I've sort of
no.
been like pushing everything. I'm like, I'll talk to you in July.
Also work through the whole pandemic. I mean, a lot of people, like that's a feat in itself. It's scary.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, I did and I didn't. I mean, no, we didn't. We shot Brooklyn for a couple weeks in December, which was crazy because it was during the surge and that was nuts.
right.
And then we didn't go back. We kind of kept pushing and pushing, and we didn't really go back until I think April. So,
Okay.
and by then it was a lot better, and the vaccine was out at least, and so pretty much a few weeks in, by the time we got a few weeks into production, almost everyone was vaccinated. By the time we wrapped, almost everybody was vaccinated. So, and cases have been so low in LA, which is fantastic. So, at least the last like few weeks of shooting felt very like much more relaxed. We still did all the things, but you didn't think about it as much. There wasn't an anxiety about it because you were like, we're fine, it's safe, like we're good. So I was really grateful that we got to do it that way. Yeah, and the only other thing I during the I recorded the animated episode for One Day at a Time during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I totally forgot. Oh my God.
It
Like
was
that's
so long because it was so
so
long ago. It was like because it was supposed to be we were supposed to shoot that episode
yeah.
live, and then the pandemic happened, everything got shut down, I think that was like the last episode they did. Yeah, and that they sent a sound guy to my house and I recorded it in my garage, and yeah, that was the only thing. And then I did do 2 episodes of something else, but I don't know if I can say what it is yet,
Yeah,
but
that's
it will
exciting.
probably come out very soon. It
Well,
should be coming out very soon because I did it so long ago.
isn't that weird? Like I feel like because One Day at a Time, when that got like that was my last show, and I'm like, I can't believe I haven't been on set since last year. That is crazy to me.
I know.
But
No, but it's everybody, right? Like unless you had something that was already in the works, already shooting, like yeah, same. It's for everyone. I know. I feel like it's gonna get really crazy when everything kind of opens up, and like there's a bunch of productions just like waiting to go as soon as they can do like less protocols because they're so expensive.
and annoying kind of, but I have just a few more questions and I'll just throw it back to Soup really quick because I feel like I want you to go on your vacation, your trip, and not have to bother with these interviews and all that stuff. But would you say that like as an actress or just in your lifestyle alone, do you tend to eat healthy? I mean, like I have a good balance. Like I'm very strict because I have an autoimmune, but I have a good balance. Like if I want something, I want something. But would you say you tend to eat on the healthier side because of acting and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, because a little bit of both. I mean, because I like to,
Yeah.
and because I'm an actor, and not just for like vanity reasons, but also because our days are long and it can be really physical sometimes. And um, you know, as I get a bit older, uh, you know, when I don't take care of myself, that it's like my body hurts and I'm
Yeah.
tired and I can't perform as well, really. So I find that I feel the most confident and perform my best when I feel good and I have energy and my body feels good. And so a lot of that obviously has to do with eating, but I also love to eat.
Me too.
And I love food. So I do feel like we have a pretty good balance. Like we'll try to be really good Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, we're just kind of like, let's,
Live a little.
whatever,
Yeah.
we like, yeah, we loosen the reins a bit. Unless we're like getting ready for something specific. And even then, when we're being like more strict, if one of us is like training for a role or trying to get in back into shape or something, like we'll still be like, all right, well, just Sundays then, But I feel like you have to have that. Otherwise, for me at least, if I can't do like 7 days a week of being really strict, because then I'll just
Like
then I'll
binge.
just like binge, yeah, and go like the total opposite direction for like a full week. So it's not like healthy for my brain. So yeah, I just enjoy eating healthy. Like now we're gonna go to Florida, we're gonna eat a lot of Cuban food probably. And every time we're always like, how do people eat Cuban food every day? Like
Every day.
it's so heavy, it's so rich, and I just yeah, my husband and I, like, we feel like we fill our Cuban quota just from how much
Like,
we consume and the few weeks we're there, and then yeah, like we don't even I mean, I don't make that many Cuban dishes, so usually we'll order it, but then we just have so much when we go to Florida that sometimes
I literally just went to New York and there's like this place I grew up going to called Rincon Criollo. It's like there's like one in Corona, Queens, and they just opened up like one by my parents' house. And so I lived on that like the entire time I was home. But then I'm like, I could live on rice and beans. Like I'd be fine. But then I'm like, would I? Or fry banana. Like actually, there's a place out here. I don't know if you've been to that I really like for Cuban called El Cochinito. Have you been there?
oh yeah, in Silver Lake.
Yeah, it's so
I
good.
order we've the last 2 years we've ordered our Noche Buena food from them.
Oh, really? It's good, right?
Really
Like,
good. There's
yeah,
also another spot in North Hollywood that we had recently that's really good. That's called La Taverna, I think.
I'm putting it down.
It's so good. It's in North Hollywood and it's really good. I've been getting their rabo and it's so good.
I did like because I'll write recipes for like my website, and I did make like ropa vieja, and I'm like, it's so funny because like I'm trying to make healthier versions of like Cuban stuff, and I'm like, there really is no way, It's all like starchy, but it's so good. It's not that bad. They're bananas.
Yeah, it's not that bad. If you don't have like now on this trip, I might have like a job after this trip, so I might have to be like a little bit better on this trip. So like, I skip the rice. Like when I'm trying to,
Right. Well, I'll send you soup. I could send you soup if you're trying to be better. When you get back, I'll give you like a soup detox.
perfect.
It'll-
Perfect.
I'll throw in my Tia's Cuban black bean. And
Awesome.
yeah. But I really appreciate you doing this. It's so good to talk to you. And I'm like bummed that I didn't get to talk to you guys when you were on One Day at a Time. I mean,
Yeah.
there was like 1,000 people to talk to on that episode. Do you know what I mean?
There were so many people there. There were so many. And on tape night, there was like so many. It felt like a concert. It was
So great
awesome.
though. I mean, it
Yeah.
was great. And I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I thought you guys were so great. And so I'm
Me
sad
too.
for you, but I'm so happy that, I mean,
You. It's both. Yeah, it's
yeah.
both things. It's happy and it's sad and it's all the feelings for
Oh my
sure.
God. But yes, I will definitely, if you need just like when you get back, I know that like when you be in too many,
I'm gonna take you
Cuban,
up on
yeah, come
it.
by and I'll stock you up. But I'm so grateful for you to do this. And I'm so glad that I got to work with you, but unfortunately we never like really actually spoke.
I
So
know. Next
but
time.
it was kind of
Our ships pass again.
hopefully soon.
Yes.
But have a great trip and thank you.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
She was
Bye.
a video switcher in TV at the time. Then whoops, suddenly that girl's got Lyme. Her health is back on track 'cause she switched up her diet. And now she's forcing all